Throughout the series, we have explored Ragatha's development the most out of any character in Digital Circus. Whether that was predicting what could be revealed in episode 5 with what she said under the stupid sauce, what she said to King in episode 6, and seeing her development be fully finished with the conclusion of the latest episode, episode 8. We've seen a lot, but now we have enough information to fully digest the character Ragatha, and how her feel of belonging truly drives her away from everybody. Hello Ninjas, welcome back. In the first of 6 installments, we explore the full development of Ragatha. Her life before the circus, her life in the circus, and the drama between her, Jax, Pomni, and everyone inside the Digital Circus. Once every 2 weeks, I'll be uploading a development deep dive video on each member of the Amazing Digital Circus, exploring how they were developed throughout the Amazing Digital Circus as it leads up to the inevitable end of the series on June 19th. One quick note before we begin. The way I interpret development may be different from your interpretation. If I get things wrong, that's okay. Mistakes happen. So if I mess something up in any of these upcoming videos, just politely say in the comments, please. You don't need to go crazy and do full cabs and be like, oh, you got this wrong, and the theory is this and that. Relax. What needs to be adjusted, you just let me know, okay? Thank you for your understanding, and allow me to begin the first of 6 installments of the Deep Dive series. We first start with the development of Ragatha, the fear of belonging. In order to talk about Ragatha's development, we first need some background information. Before Ragatha was in the circus, she was a farmer girl, raising horses and chickens in a large farm. She then explored real estate before entering the Digital Circus, in which she entered shortly after Queenie had abstracted, which is Kinger's wife. So if you think about it, she was the first and the newest batch of characters inside Digital Circus. So she has seen a lot happen inside this digital world. She's seen way more abstractions than anybody else that came after her specifically. She's seen Cosmo abstract, she's seen Ribbit abstract, compared to people like Pomni, where she's the newest and she hasn't seen anyone abstract before. Now that we have a short briefing of Ragatha's background, let's begin the deep dive by advancing to episode 4, where her development truly begins. Don't worry, we'll come back to pilot, episode 2, and episode 3. They'll come into play as we talk about her internal struggles. In episode 4, they work at a fast food chain named Spudsy's, with Gangle being the manager. They get an order for a stupid burger. As Ragatha squirted the stupid sauce onto the burger, some of it squirted back and got into her eye. As she rubbed her eyes, we see this Gangle demon face and then shot right back to Ragatha as her mood swings down to a drunken state, where everything she says is mean but doesn't truly mean it. Stupid. That's basically what it is. I mean, there's nothing else really to say. She just acts stupid the entire time. It's still pretty self-explanatory. Throughout the episode, we see things Ragatha would never say to anyone's face. Examples are calling Zubu a grouch, telling Gangle she's annoying when she has her happy mask on, and saying that Pomni would rather go talk to Gummigoo instead of being around Gangle and the crew. The first true development we see is when Ragatha says this:
I miss my horses.
This is truly the first time we see the development of Ragatha and some noteworthy background information we have of Ragatha. After a bit, we see an interaction between her and Jax. Here's the clip.
Can you move?
Yo, Jax. I hate you, but I don't want you to hate me. Is that weird?
You're drunk or something.
Oh yeah.
For the first few episodes, we actually saw Jax bully Ragatha, calling her hair licorice, saying that she has a key to her room, pushing her, shoving her, and just not caring about Ragatha things overall. So to see her genuinely want to care about Jax is intriguing. Because this entire time, Ragatha just didn't really care about Jax's, just ignored whatever Jax said specifically and added something rude. Like, hey, that's not nice, Jax never cared about her. But to see the opposite expression is rather interesting, how she wants her to care about him, and Jax wants him to care about her. That concludes the development we see in Ragatha for episode 4. On to episode 5, Untitled. After a rather intriguing episode, we head to Untitled, where things start to get out of hand for Ragatha, and it all begins in stargazing adventure. By the picnic, we have Gangle, Zubul, Kinger, and Ragatha. Then, laying on the floor on the right, looking at the stars, we have Pomni and Jax. Now, we will briefly talk about Pomni and Jax, since they are a pivotal part of Ragatha's development. Ragatha stands up for Gangle from Jax's harsh words, and then Pomni asks a rather interesting question.
Do you have any actual friends?
Not anymore.
It's Jax's quote at the end of this clip that is fascinating. How Ragatha tries to be nice every time, not wanting to be on the bad side of someone. Show that sometimes what Ragatha does is for her own good. As it dies down, we head to the bar, where Ragatha shares her early life.
I was born into a fairly wealthy family. We had a large property with horses and chickens, and my mother, my mother was a lot. I worked in real estate for a bit until I ended up here. I'm sure she doesn't miss me. I certainly don't miss the yelling, and the braiding, and guilt tripping, in the... Yeah, just kind of a farm girl. Nothing too out of the ordinary.
It's here we find out that Ragatha was born to a wealthy family, and her mom wasn't the kindest to her, being guilt-tripped into doing things for her and being berated, which is not how someone should be raised. You can see through this clip that she starts to get tight. She starts to get nervous talking about it because she doesn't want anyone to go through what she had to. She also wanted to be cared for and appreciated because right now she doesn't feel that, and Pomni was the only way for that. She never connected with Zooble, Jax, or Gangle. She never was able to connect with anyone because all she had to worry about was just pleasing her mother and not making her so mad, just like how she was towards everyone in her family specifically. That's why she started to get so tight. That's why she got so nervous, because it's something difficult to talk about specifically, because you don't want to share these type of deepened feelings, because it's just a digital world. Who really cares about it, you know? And nobody doesn't really know Ragatha that well. Maybe Kinger, but not that much specifically. It was only when the beginning for her, because she was the one who entered the circus right after Queenie escaped. And for Pomni could be the start for this. If she can get close to Pomni, her life can start turning around. She can start feeling more confident, more happy, more belonging, feeling like she actually has a purpose in this world. You know, unfortunately, Jax just had to ruin some things.
Right, Ragatha?
Hey, Pomni. Remember when Kaufmo smashed me against the walls and I got all jumbled up? All things considered, that was pretty funny, right?
No, not really.
Oh, yeah, no. Sorry, that was probably pretty traumatic for you.
Oh, remember when you got high at McDonald's and told Gangle to kill herself? No, that was funny.
What? I did not say that. I think. No, of course I didn't. And I am still so sorry about that, Gangle. I would never have said anything like that if I didn't get that stupid sauce in my eye.
Jeez, Raggy, just let yourself be mean sometimes.
Ragatha noticed that Jax was getting too close to Pomni, so in her defense, she tried to think of a funny moment that only she and Pomni had experienced. Which, she tried her best. She failed. But you can see how she started to get nervous. She started to get embarrassed because she didn't want Pomni to get close to Jax because of what Jax has done to everyone else in the circus. She just wants her to be happy. That's it. She doesn't want to become what Jax has become. This big, bully, mean-headed person. Which, speaking of, he exposed her and then had to say sorry to Gangle about the words she said to her under the stupid sauce effect. Which, you know, it wasn't her fault. It was a stupid sauce effect. But still good to say sorry. This is a boiling point when we get to the softball game between the Big Tops and the evil Big Tops. Ragatha, frustrated, heads to the bench next to Pomni. And Pomni says some rather interesting words to her. Not really wisdom. It's more like advice.
There's nothing wrong with showing your negative emotions. That's pretty normal.
I don't know. I don't want to be a jerk or anything.
I think we all need to be a jerk sometimes.
Maybe. Who knows?
Pomni, using Jax's words, tells her that it's okay to be mean. That's part of life. You don't have to be nice around everybody. You don't always need to say yes to someone to make everything happy. Sometimes it's okay to say no. That's okay. That's fine. That's no big deal. Maybe that thing you say no might mean you're going through some things. And you just need time to leave people alone. And sometimes you gotta give them space for who they want to be. Taking Pomni's advice, she reaches the highest boiling point possible towards somebody and calls out Jax.
Would you stop trying to force her to act like you?
Oh yeah, I should force her to be happy all the time instead, right?
Well, it's better than turning her into some insensitive jerk who deflects everything.
I can think for myself, guys.
Hey, I ain't forcing anything on you.
And then you just act like you never do anything wrong and everybody loves you, when in reality you just fuck everything up for everyone else.
Okay, let's, calm down a bit.
What? You're the one who said it's fine to be a jerk sometimes. Ugh. I'm sorry, Pomni. That wasn't very cool of me.
It's fine.
No apologies for me? This is so sad.
I'm sorry, Jax, for bringing up that thing earlier.
For the sake of making Pomni happy, she does it for her, which is what she exactly does. After the end, she realizes it was a mistake for doing something out of her comfort zone. She apologized to Pomni and Jax before hitting the winning ball to beat the evil Big Tops. It was Jax that was trying to get Pomni to be on his side. It's like Pomni's the balancing beam in this everlasting hatred for one another. Pomni's in the center of this attention where Ragatha always hated Jax, never really appreciated him, never really cared, even though she wanted to try her best to try and take care of Jax like how she wants to for everyone else. But Jax doesn't care about Ragatha. He always bullied her no matter what. So Pomni being in the situation between them where Pomni has good terms with Ragatha, Pomni has good terms with Jax, can't find this middle path for both of them because Pomni knows that is not possible. Jax wanted to get Pomni to be on his side to piss off Ragatha and make her feel uncomfortable. And that's exactly what he did with the bar scene, with here specifically, Ragatha using Pomni's words. It did what Jax wanted to do. In the end, Ragatha returns and contemplates on what to do. She knows she can't talk to Pomni now because she is with Jax, and she doesn't want anything to do with Jax. So she catches up with Gangle, Zubul, and Kinger, knowing that she at least feels somewhat belonging with them, even though in reality, she really doesn't. There's not really anyone she feels appreciated for. She doesn't feel this appreciation like how she gives towards Pomni. These two episodes show us that Ragatha has a truer side to her than we actually have seen in the pilot through episodes 2 and 3. And in episode 6, that helps it bring it all together. Because where we leave off is Pomni and Jax chatting, and Ragatha being slowly forgotten in the dust from Zubul, Kinger, and Gangle. In episode 6, they all get guns. They are to pair up in teams of 2 and each have 3 lives. The last person standing wins the adventure. As we start to see the pairings between each team being created, we notice that Pomni heads over to Ragatha to ask if they would like to pair up. Ragatha says she would, but she doesn't want Kinger to be stuck pairing with Jax, so she is going to pair up with Kinger instead for his own good and her own good. And Pomni then notices that if she were to pair up with Kinger, that she would leave Ragatha with Jax, and you know what's been like between those two for the past few episodes. So for the good of being a friend, she pairs up with Jax and Ragatha pairs up with Kinger. Here's the thing. As they head to their partners, Ragatha sends a message to Pomni.
Hey, Pomni? If you ever need to talk to somebody, or need help with anything, I'm here.
You can see that the past adventure really started her with her friendship with Pomni, not wanting her to be like Jax at all. She just wants to be there for Pomni. She feels that she isn't holding up her end of the bargain. And by saying that, she can't count on Pomni anymore. She would like to, but she physically and mentally cannot. And because of her past life, she feels as if she's starting to lose hope on Pomni specifically. But she's also nervous about what Jax could do to her specifically. Because in episode 6, we can go to that clip with Jax interaction where she knows exactly what Jax is trying to do to her. And Jax is like, what? That makes 0 sense. It's quite fascinating that the series focuses on Ragatha, Jax, and Pomni's triangle of friendship a lot. Because especially with episodes 4 and 5, you can see it starts to build up and up, and it gets to that boiling point. Moving on here, I would skip over the butterfly part for Ragatha's perspective, but now with her development finished, we can actually note that this is an important part in her development. She says that this isn't fair, as she has a more saddened mood, because obviously Jax literally shot her in the pregame, and somehow that counted. It's to portray that nothing ever goes Ragatha's way in the adventures or with friends. Ragatha wants Pomni to get close to her. Doesn't go her way. Pomni's now too close to Jax, fearing that she will become Jax, this bully, mean-spirited human who doesn't want anybody to be happy. And Ragatha wants to get close to Pomni to feel as if she belongs here. She feels appreciated. She feels worth it. Because right now, she feels worthless. At least Kinger gave her life back. That was pretty sweet and wholesome. Kinger, at least you got Ragatha's back. If we can ensure that at least one character in the Digital Circus has Ragatha's back, it's freaking Kinger. In this episode's adventure, Ragatha is the sole part of this adventure, like the main focus. I get it, Jax is too, and quite literally Gooseworks said that Jax is the sole focus of this episode as well, but even the lightest of conversations for Ragatha can contribute a lot to her character arc. Even the first fight between Ragatha, Kinger, Zubul, and Gangle has more contributions for Ragatha compared to Jax with the short 5 minutes interactions and even this scene right here, as you can see. I find this episode more of focusing on Ragatha than Jax, because I feel as if episode 5 focused more on Jax perspective, and then episode 6 was Ragatha's perspective in this triangle of like friendship specifically. Look, right? She doesn't want to shoot anyone. She doesn't want to make enemies. She doesn't want to be on anyone's bad side. She just wants to be friends. She wants to be friends with everybody because of the reasoning that she didn't feel this appreciation before in her past life, before the digital world. So she thinks this is a new way to re-enter her life. Give her another chance at trying to find that hope in her life specifically, because she doesn't have that feeling right now. She enters this digital world in hopes that she can find that new life specifically. Now then, let's talk about next section. Now, this is the long one. So, clip first, examination second.
What a game! Who knew Pomni could be such a sharpshooter? These adventures, huh? And look, even though we lost, at least we gave it our all, right? You feeling all right? Are you upset that we lost? Are you upset about something else? You want to talk about it?
I think I might have failed Pomni. Just like I failed Jax. I tried too hard to get on their good side, and then I just end up pushing them away. And then they end up hating me.
Well, I don't think anyone in here hates you.
Jax does! Gangle and Subal don't ever talk to me, and Pomni probably won't after today either. She came to me wanting to be on my team. I said no. Why did I do that?
Maybe you just needed a break. It sounds to me like you put a lot of pressure on yourself to be there for everyone, and when you're not, you beat yourself up for it. You said you failed Pomni. Why do you feel that way?
I don't know. I feel like every day we're drifting further apart. Like she's seen through all my tricks and doesn't trust me anymore. Before I know it, she'll be a different person. One who doesn't even want me around.
The way I see it, relationships are two-sided, and sometimes it doesn't make sense to do all the heavy lifting when the other isn't in the mood. We all go through and deal with things differently, and sometimes you just need to let people do things their own way, as long as you're still there when they need you. Giving someone space should never be the same as giving up on them.
I don't even know what I want. I just want everyone to be happy. And I don't want people to hate me.
Do you hate yourself? I hated myself. I couldn't help but hate myself for the things I thought I was responsible for. I thought I'd lost everything. But then you showed up. And my outlook just changed. There are always ways to show you care without ruining yourself over it. You need to look out for yourself in all this, too.
I don't get it. So often nothing you say makes any sense, but then you have these moments where you... I don't know. How do you do that? How have you been around for so long?
I guess I just have a resilient mind.
Ragatha feels that she is letting down Pomni, not being there for her. This is why through the pilot to episode 3 that we see Ragatha the most with Pomni. She herself needed to have someone that could help her at any time and wanted to be there for Pomni since she's so new to the circus. She wanted to look out for Pomni, but by declining the pairing for this adventure, she feels as if she failed her in herself. She wants to feel the appreciation, she wants to feel the belonging to someone. That is not what she felt when she was a kid. As a kid, she was bossed around and ordered by her mother to do things she did not want to do. It made her feel like she didn't belong in this world. She wasn't being cared for, appreciated for. She didn't feel like that she mattered. Her voice mattered. Her opinion mattered at all. It made her feel like she didn't belong in this world. And she felt that if she can get on Pomni's good side, she could have that feeling she's been destined to find for so long. Because let's not forget that Ragatha entered before Jax did, before Kaufmo did, before Ribbit did, before Pomni, before Gangle, before Zubul, and before many other people. However, she never got on their good side. She never got the appreciation that many other people did, like for example, Jax with Kaufmo and Ribbit. But the issue there is, she didn't have that. And maybe with Pomni, it could be a brand new start to jump through, and then it didn't. Kinger ensured that Ragatha doesn't need to do all these things in order to be friends with Pomni. As long as you are there for her, she will do the same. You don't need to force things upon yourself. It will all happen naturally. Even when Ragatha joined the circus, she needed someone to calm her. And Kinger was there for her. That happened naturally, portraying the powerful message he wanted to give Ragatha in this clip. At the end of the episode, see Ragatha and Pomni run to each other in the award show. They decided to talk it out after the award show to settle differences because in reality, Ragatha was in the right that Jax was using Pomni, and Pomni was being manipulated by Jax. But Ragatha also wanted to use this to fix up the situation that Ragatha accidentally created. Now on to episode 7, there isn't too much talk about Ragatha with her development, however, we can see now she feels much more appreciated. She's besides Pomni throughout this entire adventure, sitting next to her every single time we see her on screen. Even the thumbnail has her right next to her. The one time we do get development for Ragatha, I like to call her Rag sometimes, nothing wrong with that, is the interaction as they walk to get the key cards. It's quite interesting to see how Ragatha and Pomni are grouped up knowing that they know the most about Kinger. Besides, Pomni and Ragatha, both of their most trusted ally is Kinger after all. Because remember, she helped her when she entered the circus, and during the previous venture of finding balance in a friendship. So having those similarities allowed Pomni and Ragatha to be close with one another. She feels trusted, she feels cared for, as mentioned in the previous episode. Don't keep information from us. You think Ragatha 3 episodes ago would be saying that? Absolutely not. You can see how Kinger's words and advice impacted her so much. She feels more confident, more bold, more bright than she has ever before. She didn't feel this way before due to her past life, but now with Pomni on her side, she has so much more power now to be able to freely say what she wants. I'm repeating myself a good bit, so let's just jump right to episode 8, where Ragatha's story concludes here. Sort of. Jumping ahead to the end of episode 8, we can see Ragatha's character arc come to a complete closure with the words she said to Cain. You never let us feel like we're at home. You don't comfort anyone when they're upset, and you never bother to understand what it's like in our shoes. This one quote was the lead up to Ragatha finding her true self. This entire thing, this entire quote was how we got from the beginning of the development between the first pilot to absolutely now with Ragatha's development, closing the chapter on how Ragatha became her truer self. She felt as if Cain and many others in the circus were holding her back. When she needed someone to comfort her and talk to her at lowest, Cain was not there for her. Nobody else was there for her. She had to go do things on her own, which she was never able to do because of her past life with her controlling mother. If it wasn't for Kinger's wisdom, she may have abstracted already. I would have been shocked if she abstracted after episode 5. She couldn't find what was wrong with her. But with Pomni, she finally found herself through hit interactions and the aid in Kinger. As King goes crazy, Ragatha's painful past is swiftly reminded with her mother's vision in front of her and dolls being all killed swiftly with all the knives. It represents how much she didn't care about anyone but herself. But surely better things are ahead of her. Right? The fear of belonging is common among people raised in emotionally neglected families, having to act a certain way just to get accepted. Sometimes they don't even enjoy being themselves. They feel as if they have to be a certain character in order to feel belonged in their friend group or families. It's like their opinion doesn't matter or be acknowledged. Ragatha portrays this feeling. She always gets bossed around by her mom, and so did her family. She felt as if her voice never mattered. It was just her mother's. She had to act a certain way just to please her mother's commands, and if she did not, she would be berated. And when she entered the circus, nobody was there for her. She had to, once again, just act like a certain character and help everyone out, ensuring nothing would go wrong. Zubul, Gangle, Jax, and even Kinger wouldn't care for her. They were just there to exist. And when Pomni joined, she felt like it was a chance to become the person she truly wanted to be. And when she pushed to be Pomni's friend, it only separated them more and more, as if she was forcing it upon her. Then as Jax slowly got closer towards Pomni than she was, she started to do things that was not her, to lose the most valuable person in her life. Pomni was the driving force for all of this. Pomni was the way for Ragatha to get back on track and find the right footing in life. And when she lost her, she felt as if it was her fault. Kinger then confronted her and said that it was not. You just need to give them space. As long as you are there for them, they will do the same. And after that, Pomni and Ragatha reunited, and now She feels like her truer self, sharing her feelings towards Kane at the end, completing her character arc of erasing the past and making a new starting point to improve her life. All it takes is one person that understands your emotions and is there to help turn it around and find your passion, your spark of why you belong in this world. We've covered Ragatha's character arc and her development in Deep Dive Focus. However, there is a looming question that is in need of answering. At the end of episode 8, we notice that Kinger accidentally deleted Kane, which then begs the question, how the hell they're going to escape? Each character deep dive, I will conclude the video with this question. Will they escape the digital circus and return to the real world? Or will they be left behind for a specific reason? For today's development, 1 of 6, we're talking about Ragatha. So, for Ragatha, I believe she will escape the digital circus and return to the real world because her arc is completed. It actually is necessary for her to escape as it would allow her to put a stamp on her development to close the chapter. She now has a new life. She found her purpose in this world, and with a new passion and spark, she can re-enter the world to find her purpose in the world. Whether it might be a specific job, might be a specific family, might be maybe another reason, maybe it's find the digital circus members in real life, whatever. It wouldn't make sense for her not to escape because that wouldn't contribute to her development of belonging. She needs to escape in order for the chapter to close fully. If she didn't, it feels as if there's an empty page that needs to be fulfilled in order for her arc to be completely closed. It's like if the cliffhanger was left unanswered for a character. So my prediction is that Ragatha will escape the digital world and begin a new chapter in the real world, finding her care, her spark, her determination in the real world now, putting everything behind her. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I do want to note real quick, I do apologize for missing out on the video last week. Listen, right, college has been an issue, you know, I'm almost finished, so okay, at the end of the month I'll finish, and I get the freaking promise to you guys that we'll get a goddamn video out once a week. This is the first installment of Character Deep Dives for this amazing Digital Circus. More is on the way as Gangle's up next in our Character Deep Dive for the series. Which actually is next week, actually, fun fact. Yeah, I know, it's supposed to be every other week, but because I missed one, now it's going to be back to back, but that's okay. If you believe Ragatha portrayed different emotion or fear, let me know in the comments. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments. Do you think she will escape? Go on the quiz right now on the top right. I'm kidding. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does work, go on the top right, let me know. All credit goes to Glitz Productions for making this wonderful series. They will be mentioned in the end credits screen and at the end of the video, as well as in the description. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, share the video to your friends, to friends, make sure my videos. Hit that little bell so you get notified for when I upload and go live. Next Friday is the Gangle video, followed by a split fiction review. So we'll have my game review on that as well as some normal weekly recaps. And thank you again for watching. This is Ninja Joe signing out. Peace!